Daniel Penny was found not guilty. Daniel Penny was acquitted Monday of criminally negligent homicide in the chokehold death of Jordan Neely, a 30-year-old homeless man with a history of mental illness whose final moments on a New York City subway train were captured on bystander video that set off weeks of protest and drew national attention. The decision on the fifth day of deliberations came after the jury deadlocked Friday on the more serious charge of manslaughter, leading the judge to dismiss it. Penny faced up to 4 years in prison. Outside, some applauded, while others began to audibly sob and yell, including Neely's father, Andre Zachary, who was escorted out. "This is America. That is the sound of Black pain," one person said outside the courtroom in Lower Manhattan to the reaction. Chants of "no justice, no peace" could be heard echoing from outside. The case divided people in New York and beyond, in some cases along political and racial lines. Neely was Black, Penny is white. Some people viewed Penny as callous and his actions as criminal on the day he encountered Neely, who had been shouting and acting erratically when he boarded a subway train in Manhattan on May 1st, 2023. Others contend Penny was selfless in his attempt to protect fellow passengers. The jury had deliberated for about an hour on the criminally negligent homicide charge after about 4 days spent considering the manslaughter charge. Their lengthy deliberation and the totality of the facts and evidence underscored why this case was put in front of a jury of Mr. Penny's peers, Bragg said in a statement. The anonymous jury, made up of 7 women and 5 men, were told before they began deliberating that they had to come to a unanimous decision on the top charge of manslaughter in the second degree before moving on to consider criminally negligent homicide. But Judge Maxwell Wiley changed that order Friday after jurors twice sent a note saying that they could not reach an agreement. The judge had also instructed jurors to decide whether Penny's actions caused Neely's death, and if so, whether he had acted recklessly and in an unjustified manner. Before he encountered Penny, Neely, a former Michael Jackson impersonator, ranted about being hungry and thirsty and said that he wanted to return to jail and didn't care if he lived or died, witnesses testified. Penny, 26, a former Marine and Long Island native, placed Neely in a chokehold that prosecutors said lasted almost 6 minutes. As polarizing and divisive as these types of cases may be, I still want to hear from you all in the comments down below. So definitely share your thoughts. But remember, always be kind, respectful, civil to others in the comments section. I would like to offer my condolences to his family first and foremost, and I hope that God grants them serenity, comfort, peace in their grief, especially knowing that this person was not held accountable legally in any kind of way, and this is just another acute failure, an acute chronic failure of the American justice system. And what's even worse, knowing that Kid Rock is very conservative and he's from Detroit, Michigan, as am I, the fact that he actually was the top donor in the defense fund just absolutely blows my mind. And I mean, that's fine. Everybody is entitled to due process and a defense, innocent until proven guilty. But the fact is, he's guilty. Clearly, he's guilty. It was recorded. There was tons of witnesses.
Already learned that he was acquitted, that manslaughter charge was dismissed. So, Chris, take us through what happened today in court.
Well, and what you just mentioned, Adam, is one reason why some court watchers might be a little confused by this verdict. This is a not guilty verdict coming in just about a day after the jury sent 2 notes to the judge saying they were deadlocked on the top charge, which was manslaughter in the second degree. And then today, the jury goes in to deliberate after a couple of hours, and they come back and they say unanimously that there is a not guilty verdict on the lesser charge, which is criminally negligent homicide. Some people might have looked at that first one and said, well, wait a minute, it is likely there's someone on this jury who wants to vote to convict and others who do not want to convict. But again, we now know, according to the jury today, that this is a not guilty verdict on the criminally negligent homicide. Reaction almost instantaneous, with Penny's supporters rejoicing and those who believe he should have been convicted expressing outrage outside the courthouse. This case always turned on the videos that bystanders took showing Daniel Penny restraining Jordan Neely by the neck for nearly 6 minutes. But just as people in society at large viewed the video in vastly different ways, clearly people inside the courtroom also viewed these videos differently, with the defense calling their client Daniel Penny a hero for jumping in to protect strap hangers from someone they felt was threatening, and of course family of Jordan Neely at the podium just a short time ago expressing their disappointment.
I miss my son. My son didn't have to go through this. I didn't have to go through this either. It hurts. Really, really hurts. What are we gonna do, people? What's gonna happen to us now? I had enough of this. System is rigged.
Again, to recap the verdict rendered by 12 Manhattan residents, they voted unanimously that Daniel Penny was not guilty of the lesser charge, criminally negligent homicide.
With that said, everybody, definitely leave your comments down below. And if you want to stick around, like, subscribe, share. It helps me out. All right, I love you all. Have a great day.